welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share a little bit of time and energy. And today, the Talcottian adventure, it begins again. Thank you sincerely to all of you who have already joined in, made your presence known, those of you who are tuning in as the notifications are noticed, and those who tune in at a later time. Sincerely, thank you. I do appreciate all of you. The time and attention you share hopefully will be a worthy exchange. Today, I've been reflecting and reviewing. Each day I try to regroup, renew, restart, redirect. I'm each day I am conscious and focused with the purpose of moving forward. And I've been listening to some of the feedback I've been getting. I've been paying attention to the results or lack of results that I've been witnessing and experiencing in my life. And I recognize it appears I'm doing a poor job of explaining some very, very simple things. If I wasn't doing a poor job, then more people would be understanding. And if more people were more understanding, then our conversations on these panels would be quite different. And I know that. So I accept responsibility for my path and my purpose. And here's where we're at today. This may be a very short stream because what I want to talk about, while it may appear confusing and contradictory, it's actually very, very simple. Love. Love is the purest form of a soul at peace. You understand those words, you understand your purpose. Your purpose is peace. Your purpose is love. We are all the same in that design. And what I've come to know is for sure love is who you are when conflicts, when fears, when resistance, when condemnation, when negativity, when all of that is absent. Love is who you are. So how do you feel? Do you feel like love? Have you forgotten who you are? I see a lot of people who've forgotten who they are. I see, well, I see a lot of people who don't seem to understand love very well. One of the things and I used to be that way, so I'm not judging, but I know there's better ways to live. And one of the most obvious things I have noticed is gratitude. Feelings of gratitude are a sign that you know what you are. If you don't feel grateful, is love present? Can love be present without gratitude? Can you be honest with love and not have an appreciation, not feel a sense of gratitude for that which you claim to love? If you don't feel gratitude, then you are absent of love. So check into yourself. How do you feel? Love is the purest form of a soul at peace. There's a direct connection between peace and love. What I have come to know and really enjoy is a love of peace. Because when I feel peace, well, then I feel whole, I feel safe, I feel I lack nothing. And that's what love is. Love is not a lack. Love is an abundance. It's an empowerment. It's a force. And love is why we are here. We're not here for paychecks. We're not here to go pay taxes or to go die. We are here to live and to love and to learn. That's what life is about. learning, loving, and living. Spend some time thinking about what those three things mean to you. What does it mean to love? What does it mean to live? What does it mean to learn? You define those things and you get some clarity on your life, and hey, there you go. Bada boom, bada bing. The keys to changing your life have already been shared. We're less 7 minutes in. 7 minutes in, you've already got the keys to your life. Focus on love. Watch for peace. Seek to grow the gratitude and the appreciation within yourself. Those are found through peace, through the awareness, the expanded consciousness, moving your mind, moving the focus of your mind beyond the problems, beyond the thoughts, beyond the limits. When you move your mind's focus beyond the negativity, you discover the good. And brothers and sisters, the good is abundant. The good comes from God. God is the good. God is that which allows us to see the good, to know the good, to find the good. God controls it all. So, if you bring God into your life with the purpose and intention of, I want to know what is good, what you'll learn, right? What I learned in the search for what is good to know about God. What is good to know about God is love. What is good is love. Love is good. When we are in love, we're not fighting with each other. When we're in love, we're not sweating the small stuff. We're not worried about the insignificant details. You said a word wrong. I've got to punish you. That's not love. That's not peace. That's not gratitude. And guess what? The patterns of conflict and this egoic nonsense of constantly fighting and bickering, it's not normal. It's not healthy. To continue those patterns of conflict, unnecessary conflict, just being disagreeable just because you can, there's better ways to live. Obviously, as I'm saying those things, there's a few names that popped into my head, but I don't want to discuss people. One of the things I wrote down, the absence of peace, right? Check within yourself, look around your world and see how stable, how chaotic the world around you is. Connect the dots. What's going on in your mind? If you got a chaotic and crazy world around you, you're very likely got some chaos and clutter inside your mind. There's a higher self that is within us. There's a spirit of knowledge, the spirit of who you are. It's far greater than the ego. The spirit is tied to the divine. The spirit has a connection to the knowing that is beyond the ignorance of the ego, right? So there's a higher self that guides us around through the time that we are here on earth. If you can learn how to surrender your trust and your will to the higher power, the higher intelligence that is not only within you, but it is around you. Nature has an intelligence that is far greater than the consciousness of what we initially become aware of. The way we're designed, our creator is so magnificent. We are so perfectly put together that there is internal mechanisms at work. When you lie, you create damage in your mind, and the damage in your mind, because your lies, right? You don't want to be honorable to the truth. You don't want to respect the facts. What you do when you lie is you create these false realities within yourself. You start believing your lies. It's the way humans work. I used to believe in lies. I used to believe that my job was so important, that the military was so important. I used to believe that I couldn't make it through a day without a drink of whiskey. I was brainwashed and I did it to myself. And, brothers and sisters, if you're suffering from confusion, look in the mirror for the cause of your problem. It's as simple as that. I know that I have grown pretty frustrated with dealing with patterns of confusion. People so stubborn, so selfish that they won't even put their confusion down for a minute, not even long enough to have a conversation so that we can address the confusion that's being shown. But this is the life we are living in. And we are all a part of something more. Something more than just you is happening. You are a small part of something much more than just you. And then if you want to flip it around too, everything else that's out there is a part of making you into you. There's no separation from what's within us and what's around us. We are magnetically, electrically, through time, through consciousness, we are connected with the all. Can you feel it? Can you feel your connection to the all right now? Because now is where it's happening. It's always happening right now. Right now, we are connected to the eternity of the past. We are connected to the eternity of the future in this timeline of us, where we are. We are the front runners in this timeline. Our minds, our actions today are going to affect the reality we experience tomorrow. Hello. Hello. Are you with me? Are you with me, brothers and sisters? Are you with me today in the here and now with the opportunities in front of us? Can you see the opportunities of a better life? Can you taste the opportunities of a better future, of more freedom, more love, more peace, more joy, more abundance, more health, more? That's what growth is about. That's what life is for. Life is for more. The mind that we have, the mind that has been conditioned by the society we've been born in, has taught us to focus on lack, to focus on problems, to focus on negativity. Why? Well, fear sells. Fear convinces people to be more, to consume more. Fear excuse me. You get people afraid enough, and then you tell them what to do, and you just be confident and you telling them what to do. And scared people will go do what you say. People who are afraid and confused are more easily controlled. The CIA, the government, all these people, they've known about this for a long time. I see so many people walking around this world, especially on these online streams, just so confident and proud, egoic. I know all the problems, not doing shit about it. What are we doing? Right? This is our lifetime. There's some serious corruption going on in this world. Some satanic forces are being, well, it seems pretty evidence that you see the news. Have you been noticing the evil, the murder that's happening all over the place? I mean, just sickness. You know what? Hey, blessings and thank you to those tuning in. I have not been paying much attention to the chat. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link though. For those who may wish to join, let me drop this over here too. Um, yes, for those who may wish to join the conversations, I do believe this is a simple topic. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Um, but we can open it up for conversations and we'll see where this goes. Yesterday, I talked about, well, part of my inspiration today, again, the guy, Aaron Abkey, I've talked about him a bunch. I watched one of his videos, and this was similar to what he was, some of the things he was talking about was the distinction between, he pointed something else out. Oh, the consciousness, devotion. Devotion is the path of the spirit. Devotion to God, devotion to the truth, devotion to love. That is the way of the spirit. Now, the way of the ego doesn't devote. No, the ego takes. The ego just wants to survive and sustain. It wants to be comfortable. It wants to be, well, it wants it all its way. The ego wants to rule. It does not want to serve. So pay attention. How are you behaving? Are you trying to rule or are you trying to serve? There's a distinction that's pretty clear, pretty obvious. If you're going around telling others what to do, you don't know your place. If you're running around telling yourself what to do, I encourage you to check that part too. Because if you want to live as a child of God, I'm trying to think of the right way I want to say this. I could say it pretty well. You can figure it out however you want. For me, the child of God is the example of Jesus, Yeshua, the Christic, right? The pure love without conditions, love absent conditions. Can you love without conditions? Can you love just because you can love? You can. You can. You can love for no reason at all. I've done it. I do it every day. It feels good. I realized I could love for no reason at all when I looked at what I was doing in the past. I used to hate for no reason at all. I used to make up reasons to hate people because I didn't want people around me. I didn't like them. I wanted to be left alone. Oh, I didn't know how right I was. Today, I don't want to be left alone. I want to meet the right people. I hope to find a tribe of people who care about love, who care about peace, who care about the truth, and most importantly, who care about trying to end some damn wars, right? Let's uh let's see what we can do to help some veterans, right? Maybe not just veterans of America. Let's see if we can help save the lives of veterans around the world. Maybe we can stop this tradition of creating veterans, right? Wouldn't that be cool? I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could do something to restructure, redesign, redefine what it means to have a military force, what it means to have a government, what it means to have a community. We can redefine anything we want. We are the creators. God has formed us. The universe has formed us. We are the universe becoming conscious of itself. There's no separation from you, from me, from the universe, right? And the universe is the stars, the moon, the sun, it's the oceans, it's the atmosphere, it's the plant life, it's the biology. It is everything all that is part of you. And you are a part of all that is. All that is in the universe at this moment of time, all that is a part of everything that ever was. That's pretty miraculous, in my opinion. Our God, man. The creator of this biological technology, the creator of this incredible computing system that's within our, trapped between our ears, the little gray matter. Allegedly, I've never opened up my personal skull and seen what's inside there. I don't really know what's in me. I just know what others have in them, allegedly. The point is, this computer system that's within us, holy crap, dude. It's the most advanced technology that could probably be here on Earth. It's walking around with you every day. Are you using the tools that God has gifted to you? I know I didn't. I didn't understand what I'd been given, man. I went through most of my life not realizing what I had, getting angry at the tools that I'd been given because I didn't understand how to use them. Brothers and sisters, that's the game of life within you. Within you and me is an eternal higher self, a spirit of knowledge that is far greater than just what we've collected here on earth at this time. But also within us, beyond that spirit of knowing, there's the insignificant, the little scared, the frightened little ego that really thinks it's got power, but it doesn't. It's like it's so foolish and it's so childish and it's so immature. And the ego, with all its I'm the God of all media. Listen to me, don't you know? I shouldn't have gone there. These egoic patterns that people show, it's really just self-sabotage. That might be the best way to mention it, because I did say that God has us designed perfectly. When you lie, when you choose to stray yourself away from the truth, when you choose to make excuses and blame others for what you say, what you do, when you make excuses and you blame and you push yourself away from the truth, guess what? There's consequences. God'll let you drive yourself mad. I've been there. See, and it's real obvious too when you just follow the path of logic and reasoning. Why? Why would that happen? Well, all right, you push yourself away from the truth, you're not going to have a solid grasp on the facts and what is real. And without a grasp on what is real, you're kind of navigating in, well, delusions and confusion. And confusion creates chaos. And in the patterns of chaos, men and women were interacting with each other, men and women, women and women were interacting with each other in these states of confusion, normalized chaos, right? Because we've got this dysfunctional society where in the media, in the schools, and all over the world, immorality is taught. It's insane. So as men and women are engaging with each other in these confused states and chaos is going around, people get hurt. And hurt people hurt people. Hurt people spread hurt. Healed people spread healing. Hey, what a concept. Healthy people spread health, maybe. Hurt people spread hurt. Well, in the confusion and the chaos and all these hurt people, we play a dance with each other and it just goes back and forth all the time. And you can see it really in some of these dysfunctional families, dysfunctional relationships. People enable each other's disagreements. Just one day after another, one disagreement after another, and it becomes a dance going back and forth between being victim and perpetrator and victim, and back and forth and back and forth, and revenge and retaliation and revenge and retaliation. And next thing you know, life is done. Fucking wasted the whole thing. I don't want to go out that way. I do not want to waste my life arguing and fighting over the stupid same arguments that have no relevant effect for the future. And yet, that seems to be what the egos love to do. Love to get the dopamine fix of attention and, click the link and let me go hang out. And I don't have anything to do the rest of the day. I got 6, 8, 12 hours I can spend gossiping and complaining. I don't know, man. I don't know. This life is an amazing adventure. What I found for myself in here, the simplest solution I can offer, if you take this seriously, I can't offer that because I don't know where anyone is coming from, and I can only perceive based on my own memory. But I know that we're going through a shift right now, so I know a lot of people are not in the same spot that I am, and I know, well, I have faith that I've attracted viewers who are not of the same subconscious, just deep rutted minds of negativity. I trust those of you who are tuning in. There's a spirit that guided us, guiding us all in together, and we're all capturing and sharing these energies together. As I'm sharing, I've got a few notes that come up through inspirations earlier. But my goal, my faith has been and is still that when I present from a place of peace, a place of love, authentic care for the truth, right? Because the truth is the number one importance to me. To me, God is the truth. The truth I know as God. The truth is that which controls my life. The truth comes from facts. So I focus on the facts more than the opinions. And the point is, what I've been learning to trust, when we get out of our own way, when we get our fear out of the way, our selfishness out of the way, our insecurities, when we get out of the way, we become part of the living truth. God will use us to share truthful messages with those who are around us. Our spirits guide us. It's the energies, right? Our spirit works with our spirit and the spirit that is within us, which has the knowing of lives beyond this life, of experiences beyond this experience. The spirit that is greater than us has a connection and an intelligence with nature. Nature doesn't speak to us loudly. Nature is strong and powerful and wordless. Silence. Nature shows love without words, right? That's truly what love is. Love is the actions beyond words. And I believe the abundance, the growth, the generosity that nature brings forth, and it's just natural form, the way plants reproduce and animals reproduce and everything circulates and recreates and regenerates. That is love. Love created you. Love created me. Love. Love doesn't need the words. Love, just like the truth, simply needs to be accepted. We don't have to fight for it. We don't have to. Well, you do. You do and you don't. You do and you don't. Love and truth and God and goodness and life and all of these things that are so amazing, incredible parts of this experience. Love and life and truth and wisdom and beauty and all of these things, they are there. They're always there, always available. But in the design of this creation, in this realm where we experience, we gotta kind of work for things somewhat. You must seek that which you want. You must know that which you want. And you must know that that which you want is available for you. If you want something and you don't believe it's available for you, what good is it? If you want something you can't have, you create your own suffering, right? So want what you can and I don't know, want what you have and then get what you want, I guess. The whole point of this life is figure out what you want. The ego, the little antichrist within us and wants to be all jealous and controlling and real irritable and bitchy. That ego, yeah, that ego is worth going away. What just came to my mind is I did hear someone talking earlier. I think it was Paul Unslave talking about me. He said I'm not a life coach. I'm more of a death coach. And in some aspect, he is right. I do promote the death of the ego, right? That's the first death that's I think is talked about in the Bible and the scripture. There's the first death is the falling away of the worldly ways, of the thought patterns, the principalities, the rulers in high places. You ditch them out, right? You allow yourself the first death, and then you renew yourself with a faith in God, a faith in truth, a faith in love, and you stay loyal to God, you stay loyal to the truth, you stay loyal to love, then you start to live. That's literally the story of what happened with me. It was in December of 2017, about a year and a half after I got sober. I had a shift. I had a I had a transfiguration, a transmutation. There was a powerful shift within me, in my mind. And that shift of my mind, it opened my heart. All of these emotions came flooding out. And I discovered love. And when I discovered love sourced from me, available, love was inside of me, and I was all alone, and there was nobody around. There was no reason for me to feel love. It was just there because I opened up the gates. And I didn't realize that's what was happening. But once I recognized love and that shit was there, it was like, holy cows, man, I don't want to lose this. Never again. Never again do I want to lose this feeling. And so here I am 6 years later, almost 6.5 years later. I am loyal to love. I worship the truth beyond all else. I know the truth doesn't care about my feelings, but I trust the love of God does. And when I can trust that God loves me despite my bitterness, despite my unhappiness, despite my fears, when I realize that God loves me that way anyway, it's kind of comforting, to be honest. I've had successes though, honestly, when by the practice of mindfulness, through the practice of mindfulness, paying attention to what is within me, what is in my thoughts, what is in my feelings, what is going on with me. Through that practice, my life transformed, totally changed. And I encourage others to explore that path as well, because self awareness, sincerely, if you're not looking at yourself, you're looking in the wrong directions. I mean, it's okay to look at others to see how you're doing, right? Is a comparison, but not as a judgment way, but how am I doing? I don't know. That's not really making sense. But we got a guest here, and it's someone I haven't brought up in a while. I'm gonna take a chance, though. I'm gonna take a chance. It's a new day. Welcome.
You don't have to worry about me. I'm not Cynthia, Flow State, or Rose trying to talk shit on you, even still. I'll say it to your face. You know that. But anyways, where are you going, Mr. Jack Talcott? How you doing?
I'm feeling blessed.
That's always a good thing.
Have you
Good.
been tuned in at all?
Yeah, I was listening to your show, listening to the part. Some of the things I feel would be hard, like when you said reorganizing the police and things like that, when you talked about the veterans and things to that. As you know, we deal with veteran charity fraud specialties and things like that. So I kind of was feeling what you're saying, because a lot of those people are duped. They're tricked. They don't even understand the depths of what they're involved in.
That's exactly right. Um, the thing is, it can all change. Everything, you know what? I'm confident things are changing. Eventually, well, I'm confident things are changing because, well, I'm committed to my goals. I don't typically back down from my goals either. And
When
despite,
you're committed and you don't back down, that's when the optics of progress starts to show, sir. It may take time. Patience is a virtue, Jack, just like in the game of chess.
I'm very aware. That's kind of what I was talking about, regarding the spirit. The spirit is eternal. It has the patience. It's the egoic mind. The egoic mind that it knows. Our mind knows we have a short time here. Our ego knows we are not going to last. So it's always focused on trying to stay here, trying to survive, trying to get ahead. And you know what? That's what some of the controllers in this world have done. I don't want to call them the elite. I'll call them the parasites that feed off of the working class all around the world, the billionaire class, ownership class, whatever you want to call it. It's a class warfare. We've been brainwashed, like it or not. People have been brainwashed. Well, maybe not brainwashed. People have been conditioned, however you want to describe it. There have been thought patterns instilled into the minds of children, whether it's been consciously by the people executing it or just unconsciously because they were obeying their bosses, right? Earning a paycheck, doing what they are told. We got a lot of good people, men and women, alive in this world today, causing some severe damages in this world. A lot of them are in military uniforms, right? Where they're being compensated as these contractors, civilian contractors, right? That's a legalese way of, well, shifting responsibility upon the perpetrators of violence, which is the state organization of the government, the corporation of the United States of America. Brothers and sisters, we have an opportunity here to to bring what is right forth. We have the opportunity. I believe any opportunity is actually an obligation. Any obligation, any duty is actually an opportunity. So if we look at the world today, the amount of suffering in the world, the amount of orphans and widows and elderly, the people that are really in need of a little support, there's a lot of them out there. We can just take our pick one, go find one and see what you can do. I'm saying that and I haven't done that, but I want to take this to the top. We have the opportunity, brothers and sisters. Should we choose? Should we choose to engage in this opportunity, we have a chance to completely rewrite the rules for the future of humanity. It starts within each of us. Every one of us can start with ourselves, rewriting the rules for ourselves, becoming leaders and examples of integrity, of honor for those who are around us. The simple rule we rewrite: no more excuses, no more blame. There is nothing that will keep me away from that which is true and that which is loving. You make that goal for yourself, to align yourself with that which is true, that which is loving. It's not an impossible task. It's actually much easier than you think. And once you get that rhythm, now I'm still working on the rhythm. I'm still working on not losing it, okay? But once you get this rhythm, once you get that feeling within you that, holy shit, right now, there's no thoughts, there's clear conscience, there's peace, there's nothing but gratitude, there's nothing but opportunities. I am whole. I am here. I am aligned with that which is true. I am aligned with that which is love. When you find that alignment within yourself and you cognize it, you recognize it, create a snapshot within your heart, create a knowing within yourself. This is it. This is what I want to be. And then that's what you focus on. And that's what I've been doing. I found myself at a place through meditation, through massage, through intentional practice of mindfulness, intentional practice of letting go, of detaching, of really questioning and really going within, trying to find out what is true about my feelings. What is true about my fear? Something I heard from someone, actually, it came from a Course in Miracles workbook. I mentioned previously I signed up for one of those courses and I get daily emails on the exercises from Course in Miracle. It's a wonderful, wonderful practice. One of the reminders that just came through there is the reminder that most times we fear. The reason I fear is not what I think. If you remind yourself of that, recognize the reason I fear is not usually what I think. We're usually wrong about why we fear, about why we hate. So if you can recognize the susceptibility you might have in being wrong, the ego is very simple. The ego is easily confused, particularly in a world that profits from lies. So if you can allow yourself to humble yourself, be confident enough to humble yourself, recognize, yeah, I'm probably infallible. I probably make mistakes. I could be wrong about a few things, so I'll check it out. If you got a fear, give yourself some doubt. You may not know why you're afraid. If you got a feeling of anxiousness or you're uneasy, You may not actually know until you stop and think, till you really go within. Um, Here we've got another guest here. Welcome, Replant Wild. Ross boy, how you doing, brother?
Hey man, good. I just got off of work a little bit ago and I heard some positive things. So I
Thank you.
thought I thought I'd continue on the trend that we have witnessed together and just, let me know if you need something or like I don't know. Has anybody been up here today on the panel? Has anybody come up?
Yes.
Okay, I
Mm,
didn't see that.
I'm trying to remember. Someone stopped up for a few minutes, and then I kind of kept going, and they dipped
Well,
out.
that's good. That's good. I was
Okay.
just curious.
Um, I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah, man.
you.
I was gonna say I'll talk to you I'll talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. I'll do my best.
Thank you. I'm I'm actually not sure how long I'm going to keep going, honestly. I mentioned at the beginning it could be a short stream because the topic, I think, actually is very simple. If people stop and think about it, they'll figure it out themselves. I don't really need to explain anything. But the connection between love and peace, and then the connection between love and consciousness. Those are the two things I see together, right? Love and peace go together. Those are the essences and the spirit.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. Yeah, I can't really hate on that.
Thank you. Well, and then the other side of that, the opposite, because everything is polarities within us, we have the spirit, which is eternal and patient and knowing, generous. And then we've got the ego, which is anxious and controlling and fearful, selfish.
I'm sorry.
The idea I have found is to overcome the ego, the love for love. That's it. That is it. When understood, words no longer suffice nor are necessary. The love for love. Ah, what just came to my mind, that might be a reason God created the universe. God created the universe just for the simple act of the love for love. We are in that image. Why do we not love? Why do we not find the love for love?
I have something on this actually.
Please.
Um, I mean, so I think truth is rated E for everyone, and then I think we kind of put our own stuff on top of it, to cloud it. Like you said, ego clouding. Um, so like, why do people not love? Well, it's because they don't feel love themselves. And so one of the greatest reminders is that you are loved and you do have the answers and nobody is actually above or below you on a soul level. I mean, we're not on the level that we could judge somebody's soul.
Amen.
So, I mean, those that's just part of this stuff is reminders, man. Part of it is reminders, like remembering that you're loved and remembering that you do have the answers. Uh, but not egoically. You know, that's probably where that downfall.
Pride comes before the fall, and only the ego can be filled with pride. The spirit is filled with knowing. Hey, welcome, John.
Hey, Jack. Good to see you.
Sorry, just real brief. The guest who showed up earlier, it was actually Snafu. It was someone in the comments helped me out. Lizard Tree helped me out with that. It was Snafu who showed up earlier, and he was actually, well, relatively peaceful today. So it was it was an improvement. Welcome, John. Good to
Good
see
to be
you.
here. Appreciate it. Thank you. How you doing, everybody?
Feeling good.
How you guys doing? How you doing today, John?
Good. Plant Wild Nature. That's your station, huh?
That's one of them. Yeah.
So, do you have thoughts on a love of peace? See, and actually, John, you and I, we're very close in many ways. I know our devotion and our faith are very strong, very true. Now, the path to the future, we might have some differences.
Uh-huh. I see that exactly. Your vision is like on target. I mean, it's like all that. I mean, it's why I've been 30 years of ministry. I'm a little bit of a not a legalist, but I do tend to, I'm about I stand on the word, and we do. So I've been, I'm a kind of a dry as dust kind of scholar, sometimes. I can be a little bit anal, but actually the freer, the feeling by the spirit, tacking by the wind is an effective method. We'll get to the same destination. Absolutely. I'd like to point out that it was not even followers of our Lord who found the Christ child. It was scholars from the East who are not. And so we can get to the same path by different routes.
I love that you pointed that out.
I can say real quickly, man, that we it would be hard for me to say that we are a masterpiece until we master peace.
That's good.
All right. Hey, we've got yeah, I see we're being, well, no, we're not being restreamed at the moment, but I glanced over and saw the chat that being attacked by Enslavia. There must have been some comments. So yeah, get over there quick, boys. And I see a fake T Reigns in the back, a fake Tarek in the back. And Mitchell.
Hey, man.
Welcome you, brother. Welcome.
Thank you.
I see that too now, Jack. Now that you pointed that out, I see what you're saying without even having to say it.
Brian O'Shea is in the back. I'm not sure. Brian, I'm not going to bring you up. And this fake Tarek, whoever you are, or yeah, fake Tarek, you're not coming up either. So,
peace be upon you, brothers, as you exit.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Unless, what do you think, John?
There's, you know what? There's a thing. The one who is people who are right, the one who's a good shepherd, and those who follow the way of the good shepherd, they come in through the door of the sheepfold correctly, and they speak to, the steward gives them a mission because they know each other. So if someone comes another way, someone comes up by another way and does something is not correct. The person has to use the correct door. This would be respect to the host and everyone else. So anyone incorrect, there should be proper pecking order, and not pecking order, but you're the host, or whoever the host is, there should be respect, or there should know limits.
Here's where I'm at, John. People behave by what they've learned. Hey, welcome, HARDHAT, by the way. People behave based on what they've learned. Unfortunately, I have allowed some of the people who are coming from that other platform, that other stream, some of those people have learned that they can get away with disrespecting me quite a bit. So unfortunately, I'm trying to break that pattern of what they think they've learned. And the point is, I know I've got a better opportunity of educating people if they're actually present and here. So I'm going to bring up a couple of confused guests, people who have shown me patterns of confusion that I identify as confused guests, but we'll see where it goes. Welcome, Brian.
For sure.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for taking a risk on me. I appreciate it.
Any idea who this crack and AIDS is in the back, pretending to be Tarek?
I don't know if I heard of that person. Are they cammed? Ask them to cam up, maybe.
Yeah, they didn't. You're welcome to cam up, fake Tarek. But Brian, did you show up of your own accord or because you were told to show up? And if you were told, what are we doing here? What's going on, brother? How about that?
No, I'm definitely here on my own accord. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was over at Paul's earlier. I got my keys taken away. They were given to Timmy, but we don't have to get into that. But yeah, I'm here right now with the wonderful John McClinton. Me and him had an interaction last time. Good to see him again. And I'm getting ready to go to my comedy show. I'm getting paid, host the comedy show tonight. So I'm just sort of getting my things together. So I'll let you guys sort of carry on for a little bit till I'm sort of settled here in a minute.
Good
All
luck
right.
tonight, brother.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Good luck to you, Brian.
Thank you, Jack.
Welcome, Moose. Well, he did say he was sent here, which is just fascinating. Because I know the people who were sent here were not sent here to actually help promote Jack, to help support Jack. Were you, Brian? Were you, Moose?
I wasn't sent here.
Moose-
I sent
Moose
everybody
wasn't
else here.
sent I'm sorry, Moose. You're right.
Yeah,
I think
I would just second though that is a fair question.
Brian, what do you think?
No, I'm here, Jack, because, you know, I care for you and I want to be part of this experience.
Well, why should I want you to be a part of my experience, Brian?
Because
Honestly,
God wants it.
I'm not sure you should want me to, but I would like to be. I mean, it's obviously your decision, but I would
know.
like to be part of this experience.
I know. Well, I appreciate that, Brian, and I'd like you to be a part of my experience as well. However, I believe it's a very fair and a reasonable question because I'm a very fair and a reasonable man. Please, what are the fair and reasonable explanations for why I should want you in my experience? What is
Well,
being
I believe,
offered for my experience? So far, it's
He's got a
not been
big
a lot of
dick.
fun.
well, you know, every day is a new day. We're not perfect every day. I think my energy here is pretty evident. I am trying to get my things together, so I would rather take a minute or two to sort of settle myself in, and then I'll be willing to answer any questions and have more conversation. But it is going to take me like 1 to 2 minutes to just kind of, I got to put some fluids in my car and sort of get on the road here to get to the club. I don't want to be late. But yeah, I don't have any malintentions. I'm just, you know, here to be part of the experience, like I said.
Someone in the chat is being a real asshat.
Oh, looks like I have to. I'm gonna get some groceries real quick.
Who is this? Who is doing that? Where are they? Son of a bitch. Jack Talcott's Rogue Mod. How do I find Jack Talcott's Rogue Mod and stop them from timing everyone out?
You go to YouTube and you'll be able to see who's if you use YouTube, not StreamYard, to view the comments, you'll be able to see who's timing people out.
I see it, and it's someone titled Jack Talcott's Rogue Mod. that I'm not finding in my mods.
Oh,
That is what is bizarre.
It's not bizarre if it's Moose.
it could be changing their name.
Dude, why would it's not me? I'm walking around,
I
dude.
don't know the ins and outs. I'm just saying, you said you're the producer. I'm kind of just a joke. You don't have to take it so damn serious, bro.
Everybody says here, it ain't right.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, man, but I
You're
gotta be
breaking
honest.
up,
I did
Moose.
not mean disrespect. It was more of a joke that I don't know who has access to Jack's people. If he's saying he can't see stuff, then I'm gonna joke that it might be the guy named Producer Moose. Sorry.
That's cool.
Oh, and by the way, like I don't need that many CIA handlers. So if anyone wants to like jump off, that's cool. Or stay.
Here, I'm going to do something real quick here. Bear with me. Why are you here?
Greetings, Mr. Talcott.
Why are you here?
Another day at the office, sir.
Why are you here?
Well, I could ask you the same question.
You're not answering my question. Please answer my question. Why are you here?
Well, because I am, of course, the god of all media, Mr. Talcott, and you are?
I'm done with you.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. Brian O'Shea, I'm done with you. Moose, I'm done with you. Lig, you came based on trying to please your daddy. You didn't show up for me. I'm seeing the patterns and I'm going to assume I'm correct. If you want to talk to me, Aaron, Lig, you know how to reach me. Ezra, I don't know who you are. Are you available on the camera there?
Hey, Mitchell, your audio is kind of reverbing a little bit. It's kind of bad, actually.
Sorry.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
someone
you.
was a mod who changed their name, and I don't
Yeah.
know. I ended up removing all of the mods again. I'm sorry to do that because I actually appreciate having mods in the chat. Sorry
And I was
for
going
all
to
of
thank you because we've mostly spoken on other panels and you did give me a wrench. And so I did appreciate it. But I understand because that somebody changed their name on you last minute and it wasn't showing for you correctly. So I think that was part of the frustration. Probably YouTube takes quite a while to refresh something like that. So,
you know, I
I'm
could have.
thinking it.
I wonder if I'd have refreshed if it would have shown up, but I didn't think of that. So I cleared everyone as a mod. The lizard tree, thank you for looking out. See this. Why? Why is it for Jack? I mean,
I'm listening, brother. Go ahead. You go ahead. Say it. It's fine. I want to investigate what you're saying.
well, I know what I talk about. I know my intentions are pure. I'm sure as fuck not trying to hurt anyone, trying to take anything, and yet the amount of disrespect that's just pissed all over me. And it's like I'm battling this on my own, it seems. It's like,
I'm with you, brother. I've
are
seen
you?
it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
yeah, it's hard to compare because you're more in a spotlight
Hold on,
on
Ezra. Hold on. Let Jack
sorry,
say
yeah, go
what he
ahead.
said.
Sorry.
I'll start over. Jack, I'm with you. I understand that these people are around. I've seen them in my personal life, where you just don't keep them around. I think you're doing a better job at that personally. I think that's part of the major success and relaxation that I've seen, and not having to deal with obscene, insane tactics or whatever. Like, I think you're doing a better job at keeping stupidity at bay in terms of what you allow to come to you, because that's okay. You can like, if you know a certain track record, like take me for instance. My track record was like, I'm friendly, but like I'm harsh, and I finally decided, and I've done this before in my life, where it's actually better to be friendly. And it is really, really easy to lose track of that in real life, and especially on the internet. And so I can see how people who are like, want to put people down even more than me, like I can see how like the internet, like especially if they were like less powerful than me or whatever, or in their mind they felt less powerful, they would do those types of things, because I don't know, like that's, I just want to say, I think you're doing a better job at keeping the proper, or a more proper boundary, or boundary set. I don't see anything
Yep.
wrong with what you're doing at all.
Thank you.
I think it's better than, the fact that you got rid of those 3 people in this time, and with the knowledge that I have of those people, that was a great decision in my eyes. Now, why? What's it worth? What is the headache worth? Like 50 extra views? You know what I mean? Like,
And are we really here for views and subs at the end of the day? No.
I'm not. I'm here to actually try to build community. I've been saying that since
And
day
that's
one.
my
I'm
thing
not
too.
here. What's that?
That's my message as well. And it's something I've been talking about pretty closely. Now we have to break down a lot of elements on this. It's human behavior, conflict resolution. I mean, I could obviously take that on, but we want to really break down how, like, as I can build a community and I can say, hey, this is what I want, but can you avoid the elements that are going to come in, the behaviors, the different type? Yes, to some extent.
No,
But is
to
that
a
the
good
answer?
degree.
Is that, and not to understand how to handle it in the utmost and best elements?
I
Now,
think Jack's done
solo
a great job.
journey. Do you know what
I
solo
think
journey is?
I
Super
think Jack
important.
knows more than me on this, honestly, because I used to get pissed that like I'd spend time here and like I'd want to learn or interact, and like there'd be so many like like hornets nest, like wasps on this broadcast, and it's like, okay, like that's cool for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but like, it's like that can't be the focus, dude. I mean, that couldn't be
Right?
like you can, and all he just did was just say no. You know that
It-
no is the most powerful word in language, is no.
Well
You
said.
Yes.
don't say it enough.
Actually, and much respect, Jack, but as a person who constantly said this to myself, cried to myself, why me? Why me? Over and over again. I say this again with the utmost respect and strength to you. This is where you build those boundaries. This is where you find that path and you set yourself on that goal. And you let go of all of this easily, because if it doesn't serve you, as much as sometimes Dom can piss me off, love you, brother, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it's the right place, right time, but it's true. Is this actually aiding the path that I need right this moment? So I respect that. Thank you for giving me this moment, because I've been, that's my thing. Thank you.
Thanks for
May
coming.
may I say a word? Just a short word. I have a little experience with this, and let's see. We There was a group in city of Pomona in California, and we had to fight for homelessness. And I was kind of an outside liaison, assisting larger groups, and just kind of just one of the ordained staff. And I was pretty good at sticking to the vision. The vision is the thing that's important. The holder of the vision, the one that puts it forward, is to be supported. And how can I say Moses? He was told not to take everything on himself. He was overtaxing himself. He was told to have delegated supporters. Joshua and who was the other one holding up his arm? Aaron and Joshua held up Moses' arms during battle. So everyone needs support. And we'll knock down any, things that are not straight. This is why you have such things in a ministry. There'll be deacons, there'll be lieutenants, there'll be this and that. So that one man doesn't have to do everything. But those faithful to the vision can assist this. We'll all get to the destination pragmatically and achieve something here. Our nation is in trouble.
Village.
Amen. Our nation is in trouble. We should follow a good plan, a good vision. Here is one, a good one.
Jack, what do you think, man?
Yeah.
You've been sitting there for a minute and taking all this in, and this was all after you just made a good. I think all of three of us so far, and I think HARDHAT hasn't said anything, which kind of implies support for cutting those people off there, right there. Why not? Plus, I was thinking it kind of teaches them, like, yo, I can't act like this and be allowed here. So you're really teaching them, like, yo, like, there's nothing wrong with that.
The crowd doesn't own you.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I recognize maybe it is overdue. Maybe, I am to blame. I realize that. I'm the blame for how people think they can get away with treating me.
It takes two, right?
Well, I'm of the belief it takes a community, and I've been on here for over a year trying to find a community because I've been rejected from my own town. And I know,
Wait, Jack, hey, maybe you've been building it. Maybe you're building it by doing this. And even by having your position, you're finding that niche and you're actually weeding it out through this whole process. Sometimes it sucks and it's frustrating, but if we can see through that, it's like, oh, hello. And I have to say this from my own experience, because I'm kind of in this tiny little weeds area, and YouTube, especially in YouTube, and my concept and my idea and people respecting. But I think
so. Here's what people
I've
respect.
actually felt some things, and I've been watching you for a bit. I think you do on. We've had some panels. I've watched your boundaries being set. I've watched you put up that platform. You keep doing that, you're gonna watch. It's that whole, you build it, they will come, and that's the message I'm getting. So that's what's happening.
Thank you.
So I see a lot of that on being based on what I call Jack's skills. I never really noticed up until recently about Jack's speaking skills. And so, in a way, Jack, if you invite those people, it really is a test. I think you know that. It is a test almost, right? And I'm sure sometimes you're like, okay, like, I think, the test may be fun today, or maybe, but I got to be honest, dude, like, a lot of those, the tests are, like Rockefeller education. The tests that you receive seem to be like of lower grade tests. I think that you've passed them already, honestly. And if you haven't, and I'm wrong, then I'm sure I trust you to revisit those things. But man, yeah.
Thank you.
The sister who was that speaking, is that Ezra? Am I reading that not right? I'm trying to figure out the
correct.
Yes, that's my nickname. As I said it as Ra, but Sarah is my actual name.
Okay. That's a good play on names there. It's good.
It's partly an old nickname and my real name. Thank you.
Acceptance of negativity is enabling and advocation of said negativity. Silence creates acquiescence, correct? I think might be what you're saying. That is the irresponsible path. This right now is the responsible path. Respect and humility, self-govern 101. Nude Guru, sincerely, the wisdom you offer and the counseling you've shared.
Seriously, it's almost like he should be leading the whole nation, right? I mean, he should be leading the whole show, the whole fucking everything. Nude Guru is the man.
I feel like that in itself, like enabling, what is enabling each other and having each other held. That's why I feel like it takes a village is so important right now. And how we hold each other to standards and how we say these kind of things like let's take a stance. And how are you going to do that without having help and support? There's some truth to that. So, Jack, I do feel that because I in my own journey, I deal with loneliness, and it's super important to be strong within yourself, but also understand the importance of each other. So, one thing I love Christopher McCallis and the whole Into the Wild story, and he said happiness is only best when shared. And I might be paraphrasing poorly, but it's a beautiful message. It's something that even when I say I could go live out in the woods and build a cabin by myself, no problem. Honestly, I could, you guys, at this point. But I don't want that. I don't feel like that's my purpose. There's more to the story.
Have you heard of snake oil salesman?
And referencing into what I love to hear it. Please challenge it. Sorry, I love the challenge.
I already know I have a rebuttal to whoever said snake oil salesman. I already got you covered, so say your shit, say your things.
Somebody got identified as a minister.
Rock solid. I could be wrong. To me, rock solid sounds like moose, but I could be wrong. But to go back to what Nude Guru said, and Ezra with the not with the multiplication of positivity. That's what we are creating right now. That's what we have the ability to create every moment. That's all I got.
Well,
May I
I
say
can't deny that. And it might,
Hey, Jack,
it might
are you there?
you.
Did Jack freeze?
It actually.
Oh
No,
shit. Oh, there. Okay.
Jack, tell us what you're thinking because your face is telling us something. Is it in the chat?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
looking at the chat.
Come back over here. Because like the conversation is more right. Like we're in tune with what we're talking about, right? I mean, personally, I'm not trying to ridicule, okay, but I'm just saying like there's so much more energy happening with some of the messages that you've brought, some of the messages that people that really frustrate, and we don't understand why there's this back and forth. And this is why I love conflict resolution. So do we need to live in independent communities? Do we need to live in little sectors? Can we work more integrated together? What does that mean? And it's I joke, it's not a cult, it's culture, right? So can we do this, right? Can we do this symbolically together in the sense that we can have we have to have barter and trade. I've talked about gift economy. Do you guys know what that is?
Jack.
Hold on. Communism and
okay.
socialists. Take a deep breath, please.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Jack.
Thank you. Sorry.
You know what? You know what would make the Do you know what would make the chat want your attention even more? Is to like literally ignore it. I don't know. I could be wrong. I never check the chat. I don't have to though, but it's part of what you do.
You're not that far from me. You're in Spokane. I'm in Oregon. I'm in just south of Portland. I'm looking at land, potentially in Central Oregon. Talking about intentional communities where we can put in your situation. You know, we're not going to force.
In whose situation? Hold on. In whose situation?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, in whose situation? You said in your situation. There's 6 people up here and there's a lot of people on the chat. In whose situation?
What did I say? In mine? Or did I say in?
You said in your situation.
Yeah, in my situation. Yep. Yeah, I'm working towards this right now.
Yeah, but who is your? Who are you speaking about is what I'm asking.
Myself and a group of people that I don't need to say their names of, and I can validate.
No, I'm not asking for their names. When you say your, I'm wondering if I'm involved in your hypothetical or not.
I'm getting defensive.
No, not at all. I just want information.
Who are you?
Just let her talk, bud.
Who are you? I don't know who you are. Sorry.
Please continue, Ezra. If you could
I
please
like your
continue.
name, Plant Wild Nature. I do because I'm big on permaculture. John, sorry, say that again. Sorry.
I was going to say, please continue your message. I was trying to follow you, and we were getting somewhere. If you could hold your question, Plant Wild Nature. I mean, let her finish, and then could you
But I
please?
kind of, I
she'll
feel like
let
I
her
know,
play.
I
That's
feel
what I'm
like I know
supposed.
your voice. I feel like I know who you are. Do you know who I am?
I'd like to
Okay,
hear what you
anyway.
were talking
Keep
about at this
talking.
point.
Keep
So
talking, and maybe
I'm
maybe.
okay. One thing I'm going to recommend for all of you right now, especially because of your name, Mr. Plant Wild Nature. Jack, you might like this. I'm not sure. But I feel like this is just sort of really letting go of fear, really understanding our beautiful balance with nature. So there's a book called The Ringing Cedars series, and it's about a woman called Anastasia, but it doesn't start out with that. It starts out about a tree. And actually, if you start to look into cedars in general, this might resonate. But the in-depthness of the story, and you can look it up. It's an auto book, by the way. Anastasia, The Ringing Cedar series. This is out of Siberia. This is about a man who came, he was on his journeys. He came upon a woman who had little to no clothing on in the Siberian winter, sort of not desert, but sort of, not as like, and, they do have evergreens. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Tundra, I think they
It's
refer
not
to it as.
Mongolia. It's not,
Intentional
right.
community.
It's not that kind of Arctic forest, right, where the trees don't grow. So she was able to build her own setup and live. She actually was uncomfortable in a lot of clothing. So this goes back quite a few years. If you look into the story, there's full on evidence of the actual legitimacy, and they're actually bringing this into the States in a kinship domainship. I'm actually looking into this to do for our own group, and we're sort of listening to what they're talking about. Like, I have an appreciation for technology. I have friends who are able to build free energy with copper coil
Yeah,
designs, and
like what does this have to
Jack,
do
thank you
with
for this
like ending
platform, by the way,
war and
because I'm
stuff like
chatting and blah blah
this
blah. I'm
doesn't have
like,
anything to do with all that. Or
I know,
Jack's
and
like
I'm
Now
just
you guys see why I said what I said. Thank you.
Right.
okay.
I just wanted to hear a
So
little
I'll
more. I
shut
couldn't
up
hear you.
then. Thank you. You can just call it out. Fuck.
If I could jump in a
I
second.
mean, this is
And
Jack Talcott's channel. Like he hasn't
I
spoken
know,
in
and I
maybe an
realize
hour.
I'm rambling, but like you wanted to know about this. You were asking questions, so that was the direction I was going. I literally said it in that moment. Just call it out. It's that easy.
We
It's
love
not
you,
hard.
Ezra.
Hold
Absolutely.
your fucking own.
May I say something? Okay, now I've done this a lot. Okay, now we're here for a purpose, and we never have as much time as we think before things change and you have to do something. So I would like to ready us for any unforeseen things. The way a group is brought together over distances and we can work together toward the same goal, be efficient, is by having the same direction, the same goals,
Man,
the
this is
same.
like some of the most enlightening stuff I've ever heard in my life. Like I
Thanks,
came here for
Miz.
Jack Talcott's message.
Okay, so if I can summarize, I'm going to regurgitate what I've gotten from you, Jack. If I could put it in a nutshell, and you could say if I'm accurate or not, that we could all be on the same, and we need kind of like sometimes like "Make America Great Again." I mean, there's slogans that would fit us, and
I'm
we would
ready,
like it. We
brother.
all said that,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Don't
Yeah,
do the
I'm ready
big
to
right?
hear the summation.
Right. So then I say this: we see the challenges in our country. We all want the same thing: a better America, and the restoration of our values and righteousness to our country, where the people are actually like our leaders respond to the people, and we are not robbed, and we get worth and value of the treasure we heave up to the government. And
It does
our
go back to
country
what Jack was saying, which is respect. Or wait, it was you, John, who said that, but so did Jack.
right. Things like this, respect to the country, old values, right? We kind of want things it's slid off the cheese sliding off the cracker. We all want to stop this. We know the government must be addressed with rhetoric, with preaching, with prayer, however our several ways do it.
Does it not start with each other? Does it not start with really
Hey,
understanding,
HARDHAT, what's up, dude?
the little the little bits that we have directly with one another?
Well said. Yes, it
That's
does.
my
We
opinion
can become
because
greater.
I think that's why we're here right now. I'm
Yeah,
starting. That kind of came to me at the moment, so I'm just saying.
that's good. If we all say this, if we go the same way, and I bring groups to look in the same direction, we'll become greater than the sum of our parts. Is what the effect we want to get. A well-oiled machine. We all just have the same idea, the same way. We all want the same things. We can be brought together to work together powerfully. I'm sure of this. We have skills here. I'm done. Was I on target yet? He didn't object. Jack didn't object. Jack didn't object. So that must have been pretty close.
No, he non-verbally basically objected, in my opinion.
Oh, did I miss it?
I'd like to hear that.
Hey, Jack, I'm gonna sit here quiet, man, but I do want to throw it to you. And if you want, I could throw some stuff in here too that would be positive, but you know,
Yeah, Jack.
I want to kind of know how you want to take it.
I actually think I've explained the very simple topic. The topic was supposed to be simple. Does anyone want to discuss the topic?
I will discuss peace.
Please. Or love.
Peace. Right. Peace and love. Right. Amen.
Community was my version of peace. Sorry if that wasn't clear. My intentional community design and where I'm going with that has everything to do with that. So I apologize if that wasn't clear enough.
Peace. Who was it?
Sometimes
Wow.
Cheers.
Peace. You said we couldn't master peace until.
we will never master peace until we master. Oh, we are not a masterpiece until we master peace.
That was good. That's really good.
Oh yeah. You know what would bring me peace?
And
is,
when we talk about good chaos, do we not have to realize it's going to come in our way? It's going to be a constant that we have to sit back.
What are you talking about?
Every time. And
okay, so one thing I do want to touch on, I'll just take charge.
Suck it up a little bit.
Something that Jack said reminded me. He said you have to learn from others. And when he said that, I was like, oh man, I know I have occurrences in my life that I have seen. So like judgment isn't learning. You know, if it is part of learning, it's not the full thing. And so even though judgments may be, in our mind, quote unquote, correct, what did we learn?
Is it judgment though, or is it like
it's more so like what do you learn? It's more so like it's just more so like what do you learn?
But it's like
not
people
what you
take
judge
to their own stories. Like people tell their own stories.
Can you start the question over?
Listen, sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
No, start. I'm not even sure what you were asking, to be honest.
I was going on what you're saying because I'm not saying it's not correct at all. I'm just saying, like everybody, we all have our own trauma-based pathways, whether that's relative to your own spiritual connection or your own, like, okay, some people call it generational curse, some people call it epigenetic mutation.
But the epigenetic mutation that you have is the ability to learn.
Don't get me wrong on that. I think, though, it transcends all of those terms.
How?
And I think for me personally, and what I'm trying to like exemplify and what I'm trying to do, especially outside of whatever this is right here, right now. Like, thank God
right here, right now is a putting forth of the best ideas first. That's what we're doing.
Yes. Thank God we can talk right now. Seriously, whoever God is, whoever my creator is.
Unfortunately, many of us have been damaged. There is much trauma. Yeah. There is much trauma. And what I would like to do, and this is what I do at Reform, Things are
Yep.
bent and crooked. Now then, I preserve the books and the histories. I'm theologian, I'm historian. So I remember what we used to be, whether we believed on different gods or whatever. There's things that we had pragmatically in common.
Our
Now then,
genes
now then,
remember. They said that in
before that,
science.
other
What
than
you're
that, hold on.
saying,
Hey,
right?
Hold on.
Jack,
What I like,
Jack,
Religion.
may I
Right,
finish?
I
May I
agree.
finish? May I finish? This is done. This is
Yes.
done by books and by documentation. Remembering what was, that way we know
That's what
why
I'm
we've moved
saying.
away, how far we moved away, how far we moved away. We need to restore what we lost. We were better before. If you
it's
take a
respect,
snapshot of our
man.
country,
It's respect.
Maybe
You have to restore respect and direct communication. Respect
may,
of direct communication. Start there, and then
hold
from
on.
that
I'm
you
good at
will
this. If I
talk.
may finish, I'm good at this. If I may finish,
I know. Can I say
there are
so? Why don't
things
you let the guy finish? For
I
God's
wasn't going to
sake,
finish.
let the guy finish.
Tarek,
Yeah,
we
I'm
heard
good
you.
at this.
Thank you. We got him.
I've achieved these
John,
things in my
please.
community, a small part. Okay, so what I would say, this is done by documents. Okay, this is done by history books, so that we never forget what happened, and we don't, because when you don't remember history, don't know history, you are what, doomed to repeat it, right? Okay, now there's certain things that we've gotten away from that we used to do. I'm going to say this. If we have different faiths, some of us, I'm Christian. I'm a Christian minister. I'm gonna come from that. I'm not going to browbeat people, but they say this. They say all religions are the same. People say this a lot. It's not exactly true, but all religions have like 90% the same. It's things are, we know what's good for the human race. I like to say that the thing that's different is the risen, the resurrection, the risen Lord. So that's where I come from. But mathematics is the same. Giving alms, jailing malefactors, the rule of peace. There's a
Beautiful.
saying in the East, peace makes money, for instance. Peace makes money. You can prosper, but only with the rule of law. There must be order. Order is lost, is the problem that we have.
Remove resources. What does that mean, people? And that's controversial. But what is a breatharian? Remove resources.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm ready to shut it down. I'm going to do some final words at the end. So I'll let, if you got something to on the way out, please offer what you've got. Thank you.
When we come together again,
I'll go first because I think all of you guys are as important as me, or more important in some cases. And yeah, man, just keep your heads up. You do have to ask for what you want. And respect to the elders, respect to whatever it is that puts the sun up in the sky every day that I can't control, that allowed my elders to be here, to take care of me, to allow me to be here with one of the highest amounts of respect. That might, I can't conceive of anything else other than respect. So thank you guys. Have a good day. Thank you, Jack.
Thanks for your opinions.
I'd like to point out that what works well with the powers in the land, I deal with politicians and law enforcement, constabulary. Our documents, the Constitution, the Declaration, these are worthy things, even better than the men that wrote them. These are things we can all agree on, and they work to the betterment of ourselves and our nation. They're goals that we can all agree on there, and they're worthy documents that should be maintained regardless of what else is lost. But those goals were good. They obeyed the commandment, it's common throughout the world. Just do better, be better, the next generation better and better. As we get back on a gainful path, restore our birth rate, reduce our cancer, all this. But peace, within the body, without, but the documentation will do this for us. I talked to sheriffs and deputies, judges in different states doing things, sentence reduction, this and that. But they respond to the Constitution. The words are righteous and bring us together. They should not be lost. They should be preserved as a foundation of our nation and be the rock upon which we can rally. They're good documents. We're going to keep them. Those and the Bible. We'll keep them. I recommend that. But just just reinstitution.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll jump, Jack. How you doing, buddy?
I'm ready to shut it down, brother.
Yeah. In terms of the topic, love, that's fucking. Pardon me.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I got some echo. I don't know. Love is. I'm still learning, right? Going through life, keep learning, and that love's a funny one. In the basics of it, for me, it's caring about someone that you'll go without so that they're doing okay, or you'll expend your energy to help. Is one kind of the basics I started with. I got the love of my mom, who is a sheep, right? We didn't talk about a year and a half through the tyranny because she didn't want to hear what I was saying. And now it's pretty, I love my mom. She's at the end of her life. She's a half a country away. I've went a couple times now in the last year to help out with family stuff and my brother going and stuff. But, I just phoned her for Easter, right? And I'm like, hi, mom, and it was a 3-minute conversation. She doesn't want to talk. Like, she doesn't want to add anything. It was just silence, right? And she's kind of in this Buddhist thing now, which I encourage, right? But I don't know. I don't want to get into that. So anyway, I got that love, and then I got the love of an animal, right? I got a dog in my life again, and I think that's the best, is because you get this unconditional love. You get to practice every day giving love and getting love, right? Where with a human, everyone has they build up a wall, they have this. Where with a dog, every fucking day you're getting love, and you can give love, and you make mistakes and whatever. So that's why I've always connected more with love with animals, kind of thing, and feeling more comfortable with that. But anyway, I don't know. It was a decent stream, Jack. I think I see progress in you, Jack. I think that's what all of us are trying to do, is get a little bit more progress in our life as we go. And I see that. I think a lot, like you kind of know bad apples. You know people's intentions right off the bat, and when you give them a platform, when you kind of are building an energy and a conversation, and you let them be here for a while and bring that down and shit, it right. But no, I see that you're nipping that shit in the bud. It's progress, right? You've had some really good streams in the last while, and you can't even entertain those people, man. Let them. Here's the thing, Jack. You don't, you have a following, right? You have a following now. You've grown. Paul can sit there and try to stroke you off about what he did for you and all this stuff, but you can hold your own, Jack. You're your own man. You're on your journey. You have so much shit with what you're experiencing. So you don't need these people to hold you up, give you right? And when you bring them on a panel and you got some good people and you got some fucking shit going on and flowing, every day they bring it down, right? For their own benefit. It's what the Satan devil
It's our
does,
own
right?
boundaries. It's our own strength that we
Anyway,
hold within
love you,
ourselves,
Jack. I
right?
love you.
Sorry.
Thank you, HARDHAT. I appreciate that, brother.
I'll make it very short, Jack.
Thank you, Tark.
You've been so patient. Like, people should learn. Like Brown's boy said, he's learning from you. Like, you have not interrupted anybody, even though you could have. And I think people should learn that a little bit more and be more respectful to the host, and also to the message that you want to bring every day. Because it seems like every day somebody, not everybody, somebody is on the panel trying to negate what you're doing in terms of your message. So I'll make it short because I know you want to leave. Love and peace, and we'll see you tomorrow, Jack.
Blessings to you, Tark. Thank you, my brother.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Jack, if you'd like, I'm happy to close myself out, just in the sense of appropriation, and especially with Tarek here. It's really important that you continue to hold those boundaries that I've seen you do. I know I'm new, and I appreciate my ability to talk about a whole diversity of things and I want to acknowledge that I do see in myself I'm a little hyper focused and all over the place. So it's not with disrespect to you, and I want to make that really very, very, very clear. So thank you again. And I hope to have this opportunity to discuss a little bit more of dynamic views, especially on the community level, because I think you might reciprocate where I'm coming from, and I would like to get into the details of that, is what I'm getting at. So if we could do that, I'd appreciate it. But this is not the time. And again, thank you, because this is my first time here. I appreciate you've been super like again, you're really, really responding, and I really appreciate that. So again, do you hear my dog in the background?
Yeah,
She's reciprocating. Thank you.
what kind of
Have
dog
a
is
good
that?
night.
You're good spirits, Sarah. Nice to meet
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jack and John. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Thank you. Have a blessed evening.
Brother, thanks for making me welcome, brother. Your vision is strong, man. And I want to help. I want to help, man. Put it over the top, brother. I think our synergy can play off each other, man. You're going to do great things. Man, I see greatness, man. I see greatness, brother.
It's within us all. Thank you for saying it.
Amen.
All right, I'm going to throw you the back. I'm going to do a couple words myself and wrap it up, though. Thank you, John. I appreciate you joining. All of those who did join the panel today, we had some wild cards. We had some real jerks in the chat. For those who got rudely, inappropriately timed out by the rogue mod, I apologize. It took me a while to get through and to figure that out. I'm going to continue to be a little more mindful on the chat, more mindful on the panel, and I intend to clean up this stream. Paul Unslaved, if you're still tuned in and listening, all your folks over at Unslavia, I'm done enabling your ignorance and your stupidity. Paul Unslaved, you're not welcome here until you learn how to grow up and act like a civilized and adult, one who knows how to be peaceful, one who knows how to be honest, one who knows how to be loving and kind. The topic of the stream today, a love of peace. And I know there are a lot of people out there who've lost faith in love. They don't know what love is. Maybe they've never even experienced it. I went over 40 years in my life without comprehending, without truly knowing within myself what love was. I had a mental idea of love. I didn't realize how important, brothers and sisters here, for those of you who are struggling with love, who have convinced yourself, all right? I know this might be a little rude and, I'm not putting any blame, but this is our reality. For us to feel better, we've got to accept responsibility for ourselves. The world is not responsible for how we feel. The world doesn't care if we're sad or if we're hurt or if we're suffering. The world does not care, okay? But God does. Love does. See, and in my mind, whenever I wonder about love, now that I've been learning, whenever I wonder about love, you know where I turn? The example of Jesus, the example of the Christ. The Christic is the perfect explanation, the perfect demonstration, the perfect manifestation of love in a human form. The Christic, the Christ, Yeshua, Jesus, my Lord, my Savior, that which was led me to that, the way, the truth, and the light. Following that led me to understand deeper within myself the love of the Father. If you look within yourself and you bravely, I mean, use your awareness and go within yourself. If you find an absence of love, find within yourself the connection. There's an absence of truth. There's a piece missing within your mind that is keeping the mind from uniting with the heart. The heart is where the spirit lives, the spirit of knowing, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of compassion, the spirit of love, the spirit of generosity. The spirit of God is within your heart. That is where your love is truly comes from. So the pathway for love to be experienced in your experience, it's in your mind. If it's not in your awareness, it's not in your experience. Recognize that. Think about this thought. If it's not in your awareness, it's not really in your experience. If you want love in your experience, bring love into your awareness. And this is where the mind is tricky. The mind will want to focus on the thoughts of love. And the thoughts of love at a time of weakness are going to be focused on an absence of love, but you are not weak. You might be in a momentary struggle. You might be in a period of prolonged confusion where it's just been darkness and it's just been hopeless and it's just been painful for so long. If that's the case, you're due. If that's the case, if it's been a long time, you are due for a change, okay? Because that's what life is about. Life is about change. So if you ever get these feelings that I'm hopeless, oh, it's never going to change, blah, 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 stop lying. Okay, stop lying to yourself about things you don't actually know. And what we don't actually know is any moment beyond now. We don't know the future. We can guess, we can assume, we can entertain ourselves with imaginations and predictions, but we do not know the future. All we can know is right now. And so if you can join your mind and your heart into this present moment, recognizing I am worthy of peace. I deserve peace despite what the world says, despite the conditions of the world. I deserve peace. Hey, Lou, no, I don't think I can help you. You don't seem willing. A lack of willingness creates a reality of hopelessness, helplessness. If you're not willing, there's nothing anyone can do to help you. And you haven't shown any willingness to want me to help you do anything, Lou, which is just remarkable. And I'm not gonna bring it back to that. The love of peace, the peace that is found in love, those are available right now. I'm telling you, life is a mental game. Okay, the first step to winning the battle is to realize, where are you at? Where are you at in this game? Are you winning or are you losing? The way to know the score isn't by the records or by the results outside of you. The way to know, how are you doing? How do you feel inside? Is your conscience clear? Is your heart filled with gratitude? See, if your conscience isn't clear, you're not going to be grateful. You're going to be on edge. You're going to be a little nervous, right? And if you're convinced, you're so attached to your opinions that, just because you found a problem, just because you found something you don't like, recognize, by your attachment to the thoughts and the ideas of the problem, by your attachment to the thoughts and the ideas of what you don't like or what you're afraid of, guess what you're doing? You're denying yourself the opportunity to feel good by focusing on the things that you do like. All right. And sometimes problems are real. Sometimes problems are unavoidable. We don't have to focus on the problem, though. In every problem comes a solution. Every solution that's held in the problem is just an opportunity for change. An opportunity for change is the everyday notions of life. So a problem isn't anything big, it's just an opportunity for change. So if you focus on the opportunities, you give your mind the freedom and the recognition, the power to choose. Remind yourself, I deserve to feel good. I deserve to feel peace. I deserve to feel joy. And if you don't believe you deserve to feel peace, joy, or good, why? What's wrong with you? What have you done? What do you need to do? What standards are within you? What steps do you take? I mean, if that's the case, if you're truly honest about your judgment, no, I am just unworthy. I can't be happy. I can't be peaceful. I can't. If you're honest about that, fine, accept it. All right, temporarily, this is the truth. I'm not worthy of happiness. I better get some shit done. I better make some changes. You can make changes and be happy about your success, about your movement, about your progress, about the fulfillment, about the fact that you're willing to make a change. I have a love of peace, right? It's my purpose. Veterans for Peace. It's my mission. Till I find something different, I guess. But it seems like a righteous mission, sharing peace with this world. And I believe that I can share peace with the world because I have love in abundance. My love, my abundance of love that God has allowed me to feel, it comes through my practice of gratitude. I am damn proud of my practice of gratitude. I encourage you. You can feel good about your practice of gratitude, right? It's hard to be prideful about a practice of gratitude because the reality is, without humility, you're not going to find gratitude. Okay, so here's another sign. If you feel an absence of love, it means you've got an absence of gratitude. If you have an absence of gratitude, you probably have an abundance of either insecurities or arrogance. Okay. And that goes back to the insecurities and the arrogance. That goes back to the chaotic patterns of the ego, bouncing back and forth in the confused state between victim and perpetrator and victim. And it's not a healthy way to live. So if you feel an absence of love, go inside, check, do an internal check. What's my level of gratitude at? That's probably the first key. And if you're having trouble finding gratitude, get off your high horse, right? Go look in the world and start comparing yourself to others who are a lot worse off than you, right? People who have a lot less access to resource, a lot less access to health, a lot less access to mobility or safety. If you want to compare yourself and feel better about yourself, there's a lot of people out there who are worse off than you. People want to feel bad because they're constantly comparing themselves to people better than them, but it works both ways. Use your mind for the purpose of good, and purpose of good is to help you live a healthy, whole, fulfilling life. Hey, you tell me thank you. Ragman, you can take off. I'm going to wrap it up. Sincerely, I hope some of this is helpful. I hope some of this comes across. Brothers and sisters, life really is. It is an adventure, and it's real easy for us to get lost in this life, lose sight of what is important. If I can offer you anything to help simplify your life, that's my goal. I am on here 7 days a week. This is what it's been. For the most part, 7 days a week for over a year now, because I want to help you make a simpler life. I don't even know you. I might know you, but I don't know you, and I still care about you enough that I want to help you find a more simple life for yourself, a greater life for yourself, a more fulfilling life for yourself. Because as you live a more simple, more fulfilling, more productive, more energetic, more healthy life for yourself, it's going to affect everyone around you. And as I'm doing that, I'm trying to affect everybody around me. And as we keep affecting people, we're going to make a better world. And this world is going to change very quickly. And I think that's why we are here. Brothers and sisters, you are here with me today. Thank you again, sincerely, for tuning in, clicking play, doing whatever it is that brought you into this adventure with me. And if you hear these words, I want to remind you, this is your life. I'm just a messenger, God. I'm just like you, but I'm a messenger. God has created us all to share the truth with each other. Sorry, the chat distracted me. We're here to share this adventure with each other, the adventure of life that God has offered forth. The way to live is with faith. The way to have faith. You know you've got faith when you've got peace in your heart. You've got peace in your heart when you're filled with love, when you're confident in the truth that you know. You're not gambling on beliefs or opinions or whatever. You're focused on what is true and what you know within your heart, and you stay in the place of love. Love is the way. Love reveals the answers. If you don't have answers, you're lacking love. If you don't have love, you're lacking answers. The two go together. So for those who have been struggling, actually, you know what? Everyone's different. Everyone is different. If this helps, great. If it doesn't help and you want a little more, please, I did update some of the Linktree stuff and it's in the description. Reach out to me. I'm easily reached and I'm very generous with my time. So, brothers and sisters, thank you again sincerely for tuning in. Please do the subscription thing because I do not know what the future is going to bring, but my hope is to return. So share this out, do the subscription thing, hit the notification so we know when this happens again. And thank you again, sincerely. Thank you again for joining. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all.